Hey there, it's Trish again. We're back. The dough is rested. So let's go ahead and open it up. And we are going to work on our first shape, which is Cavatelli. Okay, so Cavatelli and Orchete, which means little ears, those are the two shapes that you do not need a rolling pin for. Now, I have two different rolling pins, an actual, a normal rolling pin, and this is a French rolling pin, not the exact shape I like for pasta. You can see it tapers on the ends, but since I don't have another one, it'll work. I have a chef's knife because I need to cut the dough. You can have any size knife, doesn't have to be a giant one. And I have a butter knife for shaping the horchete. So the dough feels fabulous. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of flour down here to put the dough on top of so it doesn't stick. And I'm gonna cut I'm not supposed to cut on top of this, y'all, so I'm gonna be very gentle. I'm gonna cut myself a piece of dough to work with. And then I'm going to cover my dough back up because it dries out really quickly. So you want to keep it covered so that it doesn't form that skin. So I also have a cutting board over here. So I'm going to move the rolling. We don't need the rolling pins yet, but I do need the cutting board because I don't want to ruin my mat. So I'm just going to cut this dough into 3 small pieces. And as it jumps out of my hand, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna roll the dough, and you can't have too much flour for this because it'll just slide. You just want to roll the dough out into it like a snake, kind of like you used to do with Play-Doh when you were younger. I hope, I know I did. I always made pasta with my Play-Doh. Go figure. So you want to roll it out. And as you, well, if yours isn't sliding across like mine is, as you roll it, you kind of open your fingers, and that's what stretches it out. And you want it to be all about, oh, I don't know, what is that, about a 1/4 inch thick, 1/4 inch in diameter. Said the math teacher. Let me flip it this way. I'm having trouble with that spot. There we go. Okay. So, and this is where, for me, because I'm not working on a wooden board the way my grandmother did, it gets tricky because I have to then get on top of my cutting board to cut. So now I'm going to cut pieces, about 1 inch. I'm gonna do this slowly. I would do this. When I do it myself, I do it like all in one motion, but I'm gonna go slow here. So about 1 inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch, whatever length you want your cavatelli to be, okay? And then I'm gonna dump them out here onto the board. To form the cavatelli, you, let me do it off the board so you can see it. You press your thumb in and roll it. So thumb and roll. And what that does is it creates that little crevice, and that's a place for the sauce to gather. That one needs another roll. There we go. So just thumb, you just squish it down and roll at the same time. Squish it and roll. So it's pretty easy, yeah? You can't hurt it. You can always, if you feel like that one doesn't look good, you can roll it back into another chunk of your dough and start over. There's no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. I might even leave them without just as the little nuggets. So there's the first little batch. It's difficult when you're juggling things like I'm doing here, but it's all good. So we're gonna roll out our next one, and you can do bigger chunks. I'm doing these small so that you can get the hang of it. All right, there we go. So we're rolling it out. There we go. Roll it into a snake. I'm going to do one more cavatelli, and then we're going to try for the orchette. I have not perfected orchette. I still buy orchette when I want it. Orchette is little ears. I love saying orchette. I'm weird. Okay, I'm going to flop it around to, there we go. There we go. Okay. So we're going to do one more round of cavatelli. There we go. Maybe it's less than 1/4 of an inch. I don't know. What do you think that is? We can, this one's a little longer, so I'm going to take and cut them in half. And I'll cut 2 at a time. Okay. So whatever length you want your pasta, your cavatelli to be. Here we go, and there. And now we're going to, again, press and push away from you. Press and push away. Yeah, there we go. Just a couple more. Press and push away. Press and push away. There we go. Almost done. This one end was a little too skinny, so I'm not going to use those. Okay.